driving you around in a big circle. And it's big. It's like the whole downtown.
Wait.
I'm going to drive you around. I'm going to tell you about San Antonio. While we are on the boat, we need to keep our masks on. So say it's the city. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Up there in front, raise your hand if you can hear me okay. Alright, cool. It's trying to balance the mask and the microphone, and kind of a weird time to speaking for a living. You can sit wherever you like. So, I'm going to tell you about San Antonio. I'm going to tell you about the Riverwalk. I'm going to tell you some stories about the Alamo, maybe. I don't know. I speak extemporaneously. Who knows what I'm going to say? So here goes. I'm going to tell you about the San Antonio River. This river is about 15,000 years old. Geologically speaking, that's a baby river. It comes out of a hole in the ground about 5 miles from here. This river is fed by a single spring which runs year-round. It even runs fairly regularly in times of drought, like kind of what we're in right now. It's pretty dry, but this spring keeps going. This has been a great place for people to live for thousands of years. There was a Native American group called the Wayakata that lived on the banks of the San Antonio River. This particular place, where the downtown is built around a natural curve of the river. So we still call it the horses. Now there are other parts of the river. You can map the river.
That's so pretty.
There's some man-made extensions, but the part of the main part where the downtown
Live in one of those.
that's what we're in right now. You see the river curving, and it's a natural park. You can tell that
Wouldn't it be so noisy? Look, see, it's fire.
These trees are between 3 and 4
I told you.
years old.
I told you.
They only grow in Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Cypress trees are pretty common, but this particular genus only grows here, and then this one loses their leaves.
I feel like I'm gonna drop my phone.
They call them ball cypresses. Has everybody got to go to the Alamo? The Alamo's on the other side of this hotel.
I'm getting a seizure attack because of my phone.
Now, there are 5 missions in San Antonio. Has anyone been to the other missions? There's 5 missions all built by the Spanish settlers 300 years ago. The Alamo for us is the most sacred because of the men who gave their lives defending it at the Battle of the Alamo. So we are very particular about what you can build around the Alamo. Like this hotel right here on our left-hand side, it's only allowed to be 16 stories tall. If it were any taller, it would cast a shadow on the Alamo in the evening, and that's forbidden. You can't build a building which casts a shadow on the Alamo. Also, you can't build a building which is visible behind the Alamo if you're standing in the plaza. They want visitors. The idea is that we have visitors come to San Antonio and they stand in the plaza and look directly at the Alamo and they just see the Alamo. That's the idea. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Robert Huckman, the man who
Did you fart?
designed the Riverwalk.
Weird.
In 1929, there was a 28-year-old man named Robert Huckman who had an idea. He thought at the time, the river was getting kind of dirty. There were too many people building homes and building businesses and living around this river. This river's not very big. What you see right now has been dammed up. The natural course of the river is too small for a boat to go down.
Oh, look.
So people were trying to figure out what to do. But a lot of people just wanted to bury the river underground, make it like a giant sewer system.
No.
Robert Huckman had a different idea. He was an architect. And
Look,
he thought
duck.
we could take this river and make it
Duckies.
into the centerpiece of our downtown. let's build a dam. Let's protect it from floods. Let's build a flood channel. Let's build some flood prevention systems. And let's make this possible so we can have restaurants right on the water level. He spent 10 years trying to convince people that we should do this. From 1929 to 1939, Robert Huckman talked to anyone who would listen about his idea. He drew up all these elaborate designs, and meeting after meeting after meeting. Finally, he had the support. In 1939, they got some money from the federal government.
Ducks,
They got support.
they're throwing themselves.
They opened the Riverwalk,
Like
but
unintentionally.
nobody really showed up. People really didn't believe part of Robert Huckman's design.
I want to grab one and
there was
take
a
one.
flood channel. And I'm going to show you the flood channel a little bit. But people really didn't believe
I
that was
think
going to protect
we went to
businesses from
like
flooding.
a park.
So nobody opened a restaurant.
It had like a little
So
water
Robert
park
Huckman, if you
and
look over
like
the
a
boat right now, you're going to see
river,
the name up underneath that
and there's
tent.
like things you can go. It was like
Robert
a
Huckman put
like a
his
walking
own
place.
office right on the water level.
We went on my
And he
birthday.
went to prove to people
It was fun.
that he believed in his design. He believed that the river could be made safe.
This is where love happens.
For 4 years,
Oh my
that
God.
didn't matter. Nobody showed up. Nobody built anything. It wasn't until 1945 that an actual flood hit San Antonio. In San Antonio, we'll get big floods every 10 to 15 years, like a lot of cities. It wasn't until 1945 that we had another one of these large floods. Not a devastating flood, but a flood. Usually when a flood hits San Antonio, all the water comes down down here to the San Antonio River. But the flood of 1945, there was flood damage all over San Antonio except for the river, which proved Robert Huckman's idea. So that very next year, the first restaurant opened on the Riverwalk. And it's this one right here. This is the Casa Rio. This opened up in 1946. This is where it all began. You can get food, you can get music, live music, mariachi bands.
Wow.
And they had paddle boats over there too. So if you want to come explore and have fun on the river, you come to the Casa Rio.
I need to look cute still. I like it. I love it.
Do you want us to crash into places? What? I feel like I'm gonna fall in. So this is dirty water from years ago. Dirty, dirty water. Chào anh người sau.
This little part is the Riverwalk extension. This was built in the 1960s. San Antonio had the opportunity in the 60s to host a World Fair. That was a big deal. Hosting a World Fair. When your city hosts a World Fair, you can expect millions of people to visit your town. And it's your city's opportunity to really introduce itself to the world. So when a city gets to host a World Fair,
Hiking.
they tend to build a lot of stuff. They want to show
They
off
all
all their
have its own
activities,
colors.
all their culture, all their history. San Antonio,
Hi, Red.
in the 1960s, he built theaters and arenas and towers and museums and rides. We built a monorail system and a sky ride system, libraries. We built all sorts of stuff. We wanted people to see the best face of San Antonio. And one of the first things San Antonio built when they were going to host the World Fair was Moore Riverwalk. That's what this is right here. This is Moore Riverwalk. This part of the river was man-made, and it was built to connect the horseshoe part of the river with the convention center. The convention center today is at the base of the river, of the hotel, to your right. You see these three big hotels? Riverwalk on the left, the Riverwalk Hotel is in the middle, the River Center Hotel is on the left, and the Grand Hyatt is on the right. The space of Grand Hyatt
We could
is
live
the
there.
convention center. In a normal time,
They said
when we
Rivervale
don't have a stupid
Hotel,
bat
so we
virus
could
that's
basically
ruining
live up
everything,
there.
we have thousands of people visiting San Antonio. and they're
Look,
all going to that
Blue, our
convention center.
cousins, and Red. Red's his cousin.
I haven't seen the river this dead in a long time. Look at that, 4 boats.
Scion?
Usually there's a line, especially this time of year. Usually there's a line down the block.
Sorry, but there's
Not a lot of people out there today. But we appreciate you guys coming and taking us into the tourism industry. This is the River Center Mall.
there's another
Built in
place.
the 1980s.
Oh,
This is where Santa Claus sits. I don't think
Santa
it's every night,
Claus.
but on the weekends, Santa Claus is up there by the Christmas tree.
Yes.
there's a Hooters. Do you know what Hooters is?
Yes, they will go and then my father Fernando was having picture with the woman.
Oh, so you didn't.
know?
Fanboy Hooters.
There's so much food here, babe. There's so much food here.
This boat turns weird. You remember that? I was gonna try to do a single turn around this thing, and then I realized this particular boat turns kind of weird, so I needed to redo that turn. That's why it's reverse right there.
Oh my god. Mmm.
If you ever want to tell boat captain on the San Antonio River, this is kind of the trickiest little part.
Why is there a little door under there? But you see the little door?
The boats they had for decades